Greetings. I gotta tell you something. I just don't understand people and their blogs. Not that they don't necessarily write all that well. I've actually read some pretty good articles over the past week. As a matter of fact, I commented on 10 blog posts. Yes, I did. And one of the things that I like to do is I like to keep a copy of the link that I left the blog post at, a comment, and then I go back and I check to see if anyone has responded to me. I started doing that a few years ago because it turns out that a lot of bloggers use this plugin that says you can subscribe to comments. But after a certain period of time, you end up with this big number of subscribe to comments, and they don't disappear. And stuff gets locked up, and you start having all kind of problems. And what I had to do is I had to go in and I had to delete every one of these requests for subscribe to comments. So I don't do that anymore. I just go back and I look based on me keeping the link. So anyway, I commented on 10 blogs. And I decided, okay, let's go back and look at this, because I commented on them all on the same day. 3 days later, I go back and look. What did I see? Out of the 10 blogs I commented on, one person responded to me. The other 9 did not. And out of that 9, 4 of them didn't even approve the comment. In other words, it's not there. It's like I never left anything at all. So I waited a couple more days and I went and looked again, and the exact same thing. No more responses, and those 4 blogs still haven't approved my comment. This is a shame. You know, you want to know how come people aren't coming to your blog is because you're not approving comments. And I don't leave lousy comments on blogs. I just don't. If I'm going to leave a lousy comment, then I didn't even read it, and I'm not going to leave anything, because why do I want to waste my time? I know something about comments. I've talked about it, and I've written about it for years. Now, here's the other side of that. You expect that someone is going to acknowledge you somewhere. Every person whose blog I commented on is on Twitter. I'm connected to almost all of them. And so I thought, well, I share the link to their blog post, because that's something else I do. I share links, for folks who if I comment on your blog, I'm going to share your post on Twitter. I'm going to leave your Twitter handle on there, unless you are one of those people who forgot to set it up and I can't find it. But these folks, I knew them all. As a matter of fact, one of these guys has actually commented on my blog a number of times. But what happened? I had basically 2 people. Actually, let me rephrase that. 3 people actually did thank me for doing it. One of those folks who thanked me, good guy, but he didn't approve my comment on his blog. What can you do? So the others just totally ignored it. Now, out of those people, there's a couple of people who are kind of big-timey, and that's my word. It's not a real word, but I'm calling it big-timey because one of them has over 100,000 people following them. Of course, he's also following over 100,000 people, so I don't necessarily know if that necessarily means you're big-timey or you're just one of those people who follows people back that end up following you. Still, if that's one guy, you're thinking, well, if he doesn't return the comment, that's okay. If he doesn't thank people, maybe he's got too many, folks who are connected to him doing that, that's okay. But he didn't approve the comment. And that's irksome, and that's problematic. If you don't want people to comment on your blogs, eliminate it. I think it's a bad idea, but eliminate it. If you're not going to approve comments on your blog, eliminate it. Because you get people like me irritated, and we don't come back. And as a matter of fact, the one guy who has over 100,000, I'm thinking about dropping him, because I've shared a lot of his blog posts over the year, last couple of years as a matter of fact, because his stuff is shorter than mine, but it's still on a topic that I like. But if this is a guy who's basically ignoring everybody else, you know what? He doesn't need me. He's got those other 100,000 people who can, help to publicize him. But for the rest of us, we really need to try harder. My friend Pete and I, Pete Pelicia, I don't even actually, one of these years I'll figure out how to say Pete's last name. In any case, he comments a lot on the videos, and we talk about this all the time, where folks have to be willing to engage in some way. Like I said, if you have a ton of comments and I leave a comment, you don't get to it. Okay, I understand that. 50 to 75 comments, that can be problematic. I always respond, but, well, unless it's a really short comment. And sometimes I just, I'll put it on there because I said, okay, it looks like it's legit, but it's like 1 or 2 sentences. What am I going to do with that? Except say thank you? That doesn't make any sense. Still, if you are going to complain about people who are not, reading your blog or doing whatever, then you ask for it. You just do. Pete and I are very good at leaving comments. We're very good at responding to people. If people want to engage us a little bit, then we're good at that. But for the rest of you, I just don't know what to say. I mean, I did this series on blogging tips earlier in the year. One of the things I talked about is on your own blog, you got to respond to comments. Responding to comments is one thing. Not approving a comment is another. And, if this was like a post from 3 years ago that I happened to go on and comment, which is very rare for me to do, by the way, maybe I'm thinking, well, you know what? Maybe you just passed that. Although I know you got the notification because I get notifications when people comment on something that I wrote 3 or 4 years ago. So I know you got the notification. But if this is something you wrote last week and I commented on it last week and you don't have the time to approve the comment, shameful. You got nothing to say. It's you to blame. It's just on you. You don't care. Don't try to tell people you care. How come no one's leaving comments on my blog? Because you're not responding to it. You're not sharing the comment. Really? You have to moderate that much? You know what? Every blog that I visited had less than 10 comments on it. And to me, if you have less than 10 comments, I don't know why you're moderating your stuff to begin with. I don't moderate. I do have certain systems set up, for instance. If you don't have an image on the email address, then it's going into moderation, pending. It's just, one of those things that I have to do. Because if you don't have an image, you may be fake. That's just the reality. So, really, come on, people. If you're going to blog, if you're going to do video, if you're going to do podcasts, and you have people who are getting back to you, engage with them. Otherwise, shut up, don't complain. Because I'm complaining about those of you who aren't doing it the right way. My name is Mitch Mitchell. Let me know your thoughts. I'll talk to y'all later.